going on, guys? T2RX6 here, back for another Transformers review, and today we're taking a look at the Minicon Combiner Assault Team. These guys aren't even technically Minicons, they're like Omni something, because, you know, they're not Minicons. We're trying to bring them into the modern stories, and frankly, I don't care. These guys are so bad, I couldn't possibly care about their story. So this is Runway, this is Wind Shear, and this is Heavy Tread. But we've already got a Heavy Tread from the Power Core Combiners line, so we're not going to call him that. We're going to, and pardon my language for this review, but we're going to call him Ass Face. And you'll see why we're calling him Ass Face as we go on with this review. So, quick size comparison here, just so you can see them all. Here's your little Legends, quote-unquote, Legends Optimus Prime. The one that's kind of like a Cyberverse Commander, just to get you understanding their size here. So let's start with Runway here. I think he's by far the most successful looking. Pretty decent looking jet. Could have used a little bit of paint apps on this gun here. In fact, the box shows that he has paint apps on there, but well, you know, you can't trust the box. But yeah, I mean, why didn't they cast this in green or something to at least match the plane a little? Would have been nice. From the underside, you pretty much have a robot who is squatting. It looks like he's really depressed, and you know, maybe we need to bring his hands here and get a little articulation so he can hug his knees after he had a really bad day dealing with Decepticons. We'll take off his thrusters here because this becomes a super convincing weapon. And we'll come down to the bot here and we'll unfold his legs like so. And there's our first problem. Freaking stuff just falls apart on these guys. Like, it is so incredibly maddening that things pop off the ball joint. And sure, I can fix this with a little bit of nail polish or super glue or any other number of things. But to come out of the box and have, like, so many problems like that, this just should have been scrapped. It should have never been made. So anyway, we got this. We're going to take his toes, flip them forward, and then the last thing we're going to do is take the jet here and make sure his legs are together, because they're going to kind of plug these little pieces into the front of the jet here. And there we go. There's Runway. Let's get a nice little zoom in on his face here, because I am not taking pictures of these guys after the review is over this time. Very Transformers Prime looking. Kind of reminds me of whatever his name was. The green jet that got turned into a ghost within the first few episodes. So there you go, there's his weapon. Looks convincing, doesn't it? Yeah, so there we go, Runway. Now let's take a look at Wind Shear. And Wind Shear is clearly a helicopter, but it's a helicopter that looks like it's a robot who is squatting, because you turn it down and once again there's the whole robot. In fact, it looks like he's maybe violently ejecting the back of the helicopter from her rear end. I don't understand this design choice, but whatever. And she's probably the worst offender to things falling off. So let's see. We're going to see if we can get her very carefully so we can show her robot mode. So we managed to get the legs. We'll do this. And then you just kind of collapse the propeller here. Take this thing and make it look not so ridiculous, like a little turtle shell on her back here with a tail. And then we take the front of the helicopter, and I am surprised that this thing was able to move without just popping right off, because there is nothing holding on there. There's hardly any, you know, friction there. Just terrible. And you can't even put a pin through it, because you'll just put a pin right through her head. But maybe she needs that because it'd make her a better figure. So you tuck this on down, and she has tiny little legs and probably is a better helicopter slash robot than Arachnid, at least the, you know, deluxe version. She's not really standing on her feet, she's more standing on the fact that she's got a big helicopter tail for her butt section there. So yeah, just kind of have her like this. There's her face. Focus. Kind of reminds me of Arachnid. And we can take her minigun and we can peg this to the side. And now we take old Heavy Tread slash Ass Face here, and we take his treads and we close these like this, And right here is a big flaw, because these don't peg at all, so you kind of always have them looking kind of weird and things don't work right. Yeah, flaw number one. Now we'll take his feet here, kind of flip them on out, and then we'll flip his arms like this. And there we go. We've got ass face in his robot mode. And here's his weapon here, just so you can see. He is the only one who's actually capable of holding it in his hand, and it makes a turret here. And there we go. So let's take that same Optimus Prime that we had here, and you can see that they are all smaller than that Legends Optimus Prime. So I guess the value for 12 bucks is that you get 3 of them that are kind of the size of this Optimus, instead of, you know, just one. But it's really not a very good value. And you know what, since we have them here, let's bring the real heavy tread out just to kind of give that comparison there. So let's take these guys, and like any good combiner, we have a combined weapon mode, and that starts by we take this and we plug this in here, and that is not super duper phallic looking. I mean, that doesn't look inappropriate in any way, shape, or form, right? We take this, and then we put this on top, and I don't know what it is. It's some kind of gun, but whatever. Okay, we'll take that. Now we'll come around here, and we'll take good old ass face, who transforms like this. And then we go ahead and split these, and we're done with him. Pretty amazing, I know. Now we're going to come to Runway here, and Runway is, I guess, a little bit different. So we take these, unpeg the plain bits, we kind of take these center pieces and rotate them out to make the absolute worst shoulders on any type of toy I've ever seen. They're going to swing here, and then you can see that you got these little grooves that these are supposed to stick in, and of course they do not. So we got this going on. I guess we can take these and kind of fold these on down, because these are going to be his arms, because he's got Popeye arms where he's got big forearms and really tiny biceps, but whatever. And then we take this and we fold this up, and you're supposed to take these and kind of put them somewhere towards the center like this to somehow try to fill this up. Now, one thing to point out, when you close this all the way, this is sized perfect that it will fit this center post down like that on the airplane. But don't do that, because that's not right. That is only for his robot mode. Nope, we just want this to be completely loose, and then what we're going to do is take this and plug this head right into the crotch here, and this clip will go into the back piece here. Like that. And if you can't figure out why ass face is ass face, it's because he's the ass of the big combined robot. So we got this thing going on, and this looks pretty horrible at this point in time, if I do say so myself. But let's go ahead and make it just a touch worse. We'll go ahead and throw on wind shear here. And I can't think of how we do her. We start by taking her her propellers and flipping it out, and we get the much more stupid cockpit piece. This freaking cockpit. Can you tell that this is a frustrating toy? So anyway, we got the way more whatever her name was, I can't even think of it because it makes me so annoyed. The helicopter from Transformers Prime Arachnid. We take this and you try to close it around there, and then you take her arms and you plug them into the top holes up here, if they'll plug in there, because they don't very well, at least on mine. Not sure if you can see that, but the left side is plugged in, the right side doesn't give a crap that I'm telling it to do that. So anyway, whatever, we'll keep it like that because that's as close as it's gonna get. Gotta put this cockpit back on because we can't complete the look without it. And then you just kind of take her legs and kind of keep it like this. And as you can see, she's got a big port here, and we got a big peg there. And we're going to take this and plug her right into the top here, which is a little difficult to do because of the way the wings of the jet get in the way. But if you do this right and have your cockpit angled forward here, it should end up fitting right on in. And that nose of the jet should go into this little tiny hole of your cockpit that loves to fly off at the slightest touch. So overall, it should look kind of something like this thing here. If it'll stand, he or she or whatever it is. So this is Centurion, and he's a big piece of crap. We've got our Optimus, we got our heavy tread again. That's enough. Let's not taint these toys with this abomination. You can see he's got tiny little biceps, like I said, huge forearms. There we go. Just to kind of let me raise this camera here because I really want you guys to be able to see what I'm talking about here. So let's try to articulate the arm here, and we can raise it and kind of position it. No, can't bend the elbow without it pulling this whole assembly down and making it look god-awful. Because it doesn't stick in the stupid hole. We get down here, we can't really bend the knees because we got these stupid arms in the way. If they're out of the way, they work, but, you know, I guess you can keep them on the side if you really want, like some weird leg armor. In fact, that looks better. You're gonna lose other pieces because it's just junk. And we take this and mess up his arm again. And plug this in. And he's so epically awesome that he can't even hold his own gun, let alone keep his arm in the socket. So there's just nothing you can do with it. It just looks terrible. So let's take these guys and let's break them back down to their bots, or at least whatever we have left of them. Here's poor little ass face here on the bottom. We'll bring him like this. And we'll take wind shear. And we've lost her cockpit. Let's just throw that back here. I'm just not even going to put on parts that fall off in the process of dealing with these toys because it's just so frustrating. So here we go. We got wind shear. We'll take these back apart and just throw the guns to the side. We don't really need this. And we'll take the jet, who is by far the best figure of this set. But him being the most desirable / best figure is like saying I'd rather be punched in the face by my friend as opposed to Mike Tyson. I guess it's a true statement, but it doesn't make it any worse or any better, you know. So there we go. Here's Runway, missing his arm here because he's also a piece of crap. So yeah, what do you do when you got a mess like this hanging around? Well, in times like this, I can really only think of one thing worth doing. There we go. Problem solved. So this is T2RX6. Save your money. See you next week.